Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Hey guys, Mike here from Arizona, and this is probably the 20th take I've had to do on this. As you can see, my unboxing is pretty much done at this point. I do want to say I'm sorry for that, but I've actually used 3 different cameras. A couple of them died unexpectedly. My iPhone was not working right, so I decided to charge up my Sony camera and show you guys what I've been unboxing here. Now, as case you guys don't know already, but I do sell a lot of snails, so I have to say that I got a ton of mystery snails, about 250 in each color that I carry. Also too, I got giant Danios, because these guys work really well outside all year round here in Arizona, and actually they do breed for me, so I can say that those are actually going to be pretty cool. Even though I'm probably not going to sell the Danios, they are a good source of pest control. They do eat mosquitoes really well. So do the guppies, but as far as Danios go, these guys are really hardy, can last all year round with no problems. Also too, I wanted to say, I should actually bring this up, because as a person who does sales, as far as eBay sales or my own website, sometimes we get customers who are unsure of how items ship to us, and they ask us questions like, how can you ship snails not in water? Isn't that cruel to the animal? Why would you do that? And I want to show you how the snails actually come when they are shipped to us. They are shipped in just a moist bag in very little water, if any. Some of them don't have any water at all. The moist bag is how they come. They come just like this. Now, the only way I would know if the snails are dead is, for one, the smell gives it away, okay? So, obviously, there's 250 in there. If there's a dead snail, I can't quite pinpoint it just yet. However, another telltale sign that a snail is dead is that the shell becomes completely translucent, or you can see right through it. And that's another thing. But what I tell my customers to do if they get a dead snail from me is I actually tell them the body falls right out of the shell with no problem. So you will actually, if you just tug on the trap door, there will be no resistance at all, and the body will come right out of the shell. And I have them send me a picture of the snail body outside of the shell. These snails, none of them are dead on arrival. There is no smell. When I put them in the water, they will do fine. They'll wake right up. But I just wanted to show you this, because actually this is how they're shipped to me. They're shipped in very minimal to no water at all, just in a moist bag, and that's how they come. Also, I did order something different that you guys have never seen me carry, because I've gotten a lot of response for this. And people wanted me to start selling bettas. So this is how bettas are shipped. Bettas are shipped in very small bags, very small water, and they're double bagged. This one actually is, well, there's 3 little bags inside of one bag. But as you can see, there is very little water in here. These guys will go in their own containers. A lot of them will be shipped out right away to some of my customers that had pre-ordered them. But I have a lot of bettas. Let's see, there's another bag. Let's see how these guys came, if all of these guys are alive. Yeah, it looks like out of every single one, I do not have any dead on arrivals on bettas. So that's good. All my Danios are good. All my snails were good. But really, I really just wanted to make this video just to show you guys just how these animals are shipped to me. And this is actually, see this bag? This is actually the most water I've ever seen in a bag shipped with snails. Usually there's not any water at all, just usually a moist bag. But I figured I'd do this because you do get a lot of questions from people that just, when people, and it's quite understandable, because if you just go to the pet store and you buy a snail, what do? They normally just put the snail in a bag of water and you go home with it. So when you get it in the mail a certain way and you don't see any water, you get kind of concerned that something was not done correctly on the other end, when in fact that's how they're always shipped. But I figured I'd make that video just to show you guys. At first it was an unboxing video, but clearly that didn't work out. But I figured I'd do this to keep you guys in the loop of what's going on. Plenty of updates to come. In fact, I'm going to show you this real quick. I've been working on this tank. I got it pretty much good to go. It's not going to be, like I said, it's not going to be a reef tank, because I figured let's go a little bit easier this time around, because I do have all those planted aquariums and they're very, time consuming as it is. But this tank, I decided to put 2 really cool saltwater puffers in here, and I will be receiving them this Saturday. So depending on how things go, I will let you guys know, and I may probably make an update video on that when I do it. But we're going to do a step-by-step tutorial on how to do a saltwater tank, just because I know a lot of you people are interested in it. And on top of that, I love to try to get new people involved in saltwater, because it's definitely not as hard as you think. When it comes to reef tanks, there's a little bit of work that goes into it, and I'll tell you that has its own challenges. But if you can get that up and balanced, you know, you pretty much can do almost anything. Reef tanks and planted aquariums pretty much go hand in hand, folks. So if you do a planted aquarium, you can do a reef tank. But this tank still has a lot of work to do before I put those new guys in there. I'm gonna probably do, if I had to guess, I'm probably gonna do a 40% water change in here. I still have to get the protein skimmer up and running the right way. Right now, this is just running on a trickle filter, and the protein skimmer is not really on. I also have an algae scrubber. If you guys have ever seen saltwater algae scrubbers, you can actually look at those on YouTube. There's plenty of them. Really, what it is, you grow green hair algae down in the sump, and you know, it's on a reverse cycle, and it takes all the nitrates out of the system. It actually really works good as natural filtration. And it's something I'm definitely going to talk to everybody about when we talk about this type of project. But I figured I'll give you guys a sneak peek. This tank is getting on its way. Still has a lot of cleaning to do, a lot of different things I want to do to it still before adding the new inhabitants. Still got some aptasia in here, and I might throw a couple of what it is called, they're not cherry shrimp. I gotta listen. I'm losing my mind here. It's been so long since I've done saltwater, like realistically done saltwater. It's peppermint shrimp. I'm gonna get a couple of peppermint shrimp. They'll take care of all my aptasia in there, and then I will get them out and put the puffers in as well. So I mean, the aptasia won't bother any of the inhabitants in here now. I just don't like them because they spread a lot. I mean, I have the xenia. The xenia spreads a lot, but that's actually a coral, and even though it can be considered a pest in most people's tank, I kind of like it. I kind of have a toadstool coral still there. As you can tell though, there are certain corals that actually will do good no matter what. So if you're a beginner, and I know this tank looks terrible, guys, for those of you guys who have great reef tanks, this thing used to look great at one time too. But for those of you guys looking to get into corals, the best ones to get into that are bulletproof, down there we have a mushroom coral. Notice how it's still there, perfectly fine. Xenia and a toadstool. Those kind of corals actually will literally outlive anything in your tank. And then if you get these aptasias, these are like anemones, but they're pests. They sting on the corals, they can sting fish, and they're not really that cool because they can cause more harm than good. But as you can see, they start to spread around your tank, and I got to get them out. But that's my update for today, guys. Please comment, please throw me a like, and please subscribe. I'll talk to you soon.